Hello everyone, I'm Adam and this is Vector 3D and this is a sponsored video for Ploopy Headphones. So the plan today is we're going to build a set of headphones. They're all 3D printed parts and a bunch of stuff too. It's all a DIY kit. The link is down below. Ta-da! So hello and how is everyone doing? Hope you're doing well and I hope you can hear me and everything works. Because you know, live streaming and all that, half the time, nothing works. Let me know if everything's going okay, and then we can get started with a bit of an introduction as to what this stuff is. Hello, 3D Gusner. Been a little while. Good to see you. Right. Well, I know that everything works, so let's get started with what these things are. So, this is Ploopy Headphones. I don't know a whole lot about them, but a subscriber of mine suggested that I check them out. So I got in contact with the people that do the headphones. And I was like, do you mind if I build some on a live stream? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. So here we are, building some headphones on a live stream. So they're open source headphones. The license I've put down below. It's a mix depending on whether it's the firmware or the hardware, or software and hardware. They're plain and magnetic design, all this kind of stuff. They've got an EQ. It's based on RP2040 in the electronics DAC thing. There's all 3D printed parts and DIY everything. So there's no off-the-shelf hardware really at all. Cables and stuff are off the shelf, but I think pretty much like everything else is custom. And we're basically going to be building the whole thing from scratch. We're not assembling the actual electronics, the DAC, that's all pre-made, but it is also open source, so you can, I think you can tinker with the firmware and stuff as well, but you can certainly do your own EQ if that's the kind of thing you're into. There you go, some videos have been made already. But yeah, that's pretty much the thing. Oh, they do other products as well, but we've got the headphones kit. Here we go. So I think this is what I've got here today, the full kit of headphones. So they sent me all the printed parts rather than me printing them myself. All the foam, the pads, the electronics, the cables, the wires, the whole lot, all done. But obviously none of it is assembled. So we're all starting from scratch. Welsh FPP, Polymate, hi Paul, how you doing? 1066, Matt, 1 Litre Peter and 3D Experiments. Good afternoon, everyone. I just had to think for a second whether it's morning or afternoon. But good to see you all. How are you all doing? And James, hello Rushmere. Right. So now you know a bit about what we're going to be doing. I think we ought to kind of get on with it. Now, I looked at the instructions. So I've actually had this around for a little while. The plan was to do it kind of last year in the summer sometime. But obviously stuff happened. So everything was not happening for a bit. So now I'm picking this up again. I've sort of forgotten a lot of the things that I was looking at before. But I did read through the instructions 6 months ago. And they looked quite complicated, but hopefully I'll manage. And I have looked at one of the videos this morning, so hopefully that will help me along the way as well. There are a couple of steps in the assembly that look like they're if you F this up, you're totally screwed. So hopefully I don't do that, and I can get it done nice and easily. One thing I did think is that the instructions are quite verbose, I think is the word. They're very, very wordy. But hopefully that might have improved a little bit since I looked 6 months ago or something. So hopefully we're in good hands here. It might be quite slow, as I might have to do quite a bit of reading. So this is the video I watched earlier. It's actually quite good. The person's only made 2 YouTube videos before by the looks of it, but it's pretty good kind of just instruction step by step in a video format. And I've watched that, so hopefully I have some idea of what's going to be going on. Read every step completely and carefully before you actually do it. I mean, that's kind of what instructions are, but obviously a lot of people just like to not read instructions, so it is what it is. Critical steps are marked with an exclamation mark. I'm just going to start skipping things already. Necessary tools. So I have soldering iron. I have solder. I hopefully have some tweezers. Oh, by the way, if it looks a bit funny how I move today, I've got a really stiff neck, so that's why I'm really uncomfortable. Can't really do a lot about it. It is what it is. Some sharp tweezers. It's got like bunky plastic on the end. Got other tweezers as well. So got some tweezers. A glue stick. 1 glue stick. I've had this for years. When Prusa started selling that PC blend filament, everything came with a glue stick. And I think that's what this is from. So we've got glue stick, scissors. Hopefully I've got some scissors. Scissors. And a number 1 Phillips head screw. I don't know what number 1 Phillips head looks like, but number 0. I think this will be number 1. There we go. Screwdriver all sorted. Hello, Jackal. Dackle, dear Jackal, dear Dackle. Oh my goodness, can't pronounce things. And Ella. Nice to see you all. We've completed the introduction. Well done us. Let's move on. So, everything gets quite intense quite quickly. Number 1, assemble the drivers and try not to balls it up. Okay. Maybe we should have a look through the parts before we get into it too much. Shall we have a look through the parts? Let's have a quick look through the parts. So, I went for purple. So, all the parts come in these plastic bags. I think I already mentioned to them that they could maybe improve the packaging a little bit. But for me, not too bothered. As long as I've got all the parts, that's the main thing. This quite nice purple. I'm actually not sure what material it is. Looking at it, I'm guessing it's PETG, but I actually don't know. That is a guess. So obviously you've got everything kind of twice here, because you should have like a left-hand side and a right-hand side of everything. So there's some like hoops and rings. I think this is an assembly jig. It's got like headband pieces. I think this might be, because I've had this kit for 7-8 months or something, a little while. This might be one of the slightly older design headbands, which was reportedly quite loose for most people. So it might not be perfect, but hopefully if you're choosing to buy them now, that won't be a problem anymore. I learned that from that extra instructional video, so hopefully that information is correct. This is like a Helmholtz resonance chamber or something. I don't know exactly what that is, but you can look that up if you want to see what that's all about. We've got these little rings. These hold the like the fabric around the ear pads. These are like your main ear cup pieces. That looks like part of the headband thing as well. Got some springy clips for the headband. Headband. Smooth the headband stuff, because I think the headband's a little bit later in the assembly. So we'll move that lot all to the side. This is going to be headband things as well. Cups, that's headband. So they are adjustable, the headbands. You've got this kind of clicky system, which allows you to push them in and out. Then we have, I think these are like the cover plates that end up going here. So a couple of those. That's the springy thing. And then our left and right outer rings or inner rings. I don't know which is which. It looks like most of these parts are like identical. So maybe there isn't a left and right for a lot of the pieces, which would be nice. That looks the same. I think these are probably handed, yeah, because they've got this bit. But they're marked left and right, which is nice. And then, what about this? These are handed for sure, but not marked. So we've got to be sure to get those right when we get to those. I think this must be the assembly jig. And then these are like your main cups. Right. A box with a hole that captures a frequency. Cool. That's a fairly simple explanation, thank you. Makes sense. Like an anti-resonance chamber sort of thing. So, the driver flex board are mirrored. Ah, yes, the electronics little things. Let's get those out. So these come in a cardboard envelope, and I think that's to help keep them flat. Mine are not super duper flat. I don't know how flat I'm going to be able to get them realistically. They are mirrored. Make sure you solder one connector in one direction of the flex board and then solder the other in the opposite direction. See the photo, as well as the photo in step 3 for clarification. This step is very easy to mess up, so double check the orientation of the TRRS connectors before you solder them down. So that one goes that side, we'll put that one then on that side. That must go here, and that must go here. No, I thought that was going to be more difficult to align. It's actually quite obvious because the copper pads will only touch the what's-a-dooblies in one orientation. So I think we're soldering right from the start. So I've not used this for soldering before, so hopefully it works okay. Obviously, I've got my soldering station and stuff up on the bench here now, so it's not very easy to move from there to here. So I've got to work out how to use this TS101. It's super not obvious. Okay, it's just going to immediately start going for it. 200, 250, 300 degrees. Whoa. Right. So there are some little dimples in the bottom, which we kind of want to be able to get in the right place, but also not burn our fingers. I kind of want something to hold this together, because once you put it down, obviously this sits on the desk away from the thing. Oh, maybe we could just put it on the edge of here. That'll be okay, I think. We just have to get one into place. And once we've got one on, it should be easier to get the others. So hopefully this will work. If we go to here and go to here. So professional. Hopefully that works. You can see what I'm doing. I don't like how stiff this cable is. This is not ideal for soldering. So the pins are in the holes. That's one pad on. Oh, that's got caught. That looks pretty good to me. So let's do the other one. Again, I'm going to balance it up on here. Make sure those little holes tuck in the bottom okay. Try not to melt the printed part at the same time. The holes are aligned, so I think that should be okay. You can put the other bits on. Okay. Maybe not the best soldering job in the world, but... And then I can never work out how to turn this soldering iron off. If you press that, does that go to 0? Before it just like boosted it up to even higher power. Huh? That seems to have worked. If you check in the link, OptiPro, you can... it's not an affiliate link, so don't worry, you're not being tracked. But via that link, you can check how much the kit costs. Not sure. I think the flatness will affect the quality of the final audio production. I think based on that, an envelope might not quite be the best solution for packaging. Maybe something that's wooden or thick card would be better. Okay. So back to the instructions. Double check the orientation. There are two little pegs on the bottom. Flatter the driver flex board. The driver flex boards may not necessarily arrive flat. They need to be as flat as you can possibly make them. They can be adjusted if you gently bend them using your hands. Yeah, that's what I've just spent time doing. So that's pretty lucky, isn't it? It's not very easy to flatten them particularly. But I'm sure it'll be good enough for me. So the pricing was... Oh, I said I wasn't going to check, but it looks like I am. So fully assembled, 250 Canadian. I could guess you could get them without 130 Canadian. I don't know what's that in real money, as in UK money. £75. Oh, Ella was right. Oh yeah, 75 quid. Yeah. Before shipping. It's the kind of thing that I'd quite like to have in my shop, but we'll see about that later on. Flatten the driver flex board. Prepare to apply 3/4 inch tape to the driver flex boards. You will need the boards and 3/4 inch tape strip. Sorry, my phone's just buzzed. It's okay. So hopefully in here. So these are obviously like the headphone pad things. So this is some 3M tape. There's a narrow strip there. I think there's some more in here. I think this is their logos, so that goes with those. Okay, I don't think we need that lot out yet. Do you also sell 3D printers? Currently, I don't sell 3D printers. So, check step 5 before you apply the tape to see how the tape should look. Okay, it should look like that. What's the chances that I manage this? So I think we probably want to go over the edge, because I'm guessing if this is the part that vibrates, we don't want anything over the edge, because anything over the edge will like basically vibrate separately to the driver, and that will make it kind of sound messy, whereas the stuff in the middle is supported both sides, so it would have less of an impact on that. It would be great if they just had self-adhesive ones that were just all sticky in one place, but you know, they're all DIY. So apply the tape to the same side of the driver flex board as the TRS connector. Don't touch the sticky tape. Get the tape to be as flush as possible with the edges of the driver flex board. You cut the tape afterwards, so don't worry about the tape overhanging the edges. Okay. So I think this makes sense. I think I'm going to probably cut this down off of here. I don't know how much spare we have. So we want it the same side as this. Right, let's go back to the zoom mode. Oh, that's so professional. So, we want it somewhere in here, like so. I wonder why not this direction. Because it leaves a bigger gap for this specific size tape. But God, this is not easy. I think I've absolutely nailed that. Oh, now I've stuck it to the desk. Don't know if you can see that. Hopefully there. So it's just overhanging the edge and coming into the middle as close as I can get it. I think that's pretty good. Let's try the other side. We've No, we didn't have much to go further towards the middle. Okay. I thought maybe we could have done, but I don't think it would have been very easily possible. Maximum concentration required. This is because it's this super sticky 3M adhesive. Like, you put it in the wrong place, you're not lifting it back off again. Okay. I think that's all right. So that's what the final result looks like for mine. Just overlapping on the edges. Now, question is, can I cut the excess off without cutting the PCB by accident? I've gone into really concentration mode. ASMR mode now. ASMR assembly of headphones. Goddamn sticky stuff stuck on my fingers. This is not easy. Can't really cut this side very well. I'm assuming it doesn't really matter too much if there's a little bit extra left over. So we got that side. I think that's not too bad. Especially on camera. It looks better on camera than it does in real life. And now we've got to do the other one exactly the same and not balls that up. Tape. I don't know how much of this tape we have spare, that's the thing. Hopefully enough to make a mistake. Right. Yeah, the seagulls seem to be pretty quiet over winter. There's a cat outside at the moment that's constantly moaning. I think they're in heat, as it were. Yes, that's that one. Might be easy to cut off now before we put the second one on. Sticky just keeps sticking to my fingers. Go away. Oh, there's some like muck in it there. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that out. That's all right. And we got this side as well. I think the best thing to do is actually not overhang it on the bottom edge. Use that as the aligning edge. Because the bottom edge is very difficult to cut off, so. The sticky stuff is super sticky. Thanks, Paul. Righty-ho. Righty-ho, be-ho. A bit of loose PCB sticking out the edge. So these the same? Yeah. Right. Back to the instructions. Apply tape to the other driver flex board. Done that. There'll be a bit of leftover tape. Feel free to discard it. You won't need it anymore. Apply 1/4 inch tape to the driver flex boards. What? Oh, down there. Okie dokie. Apply the tape to the stem. If it comes with a single strip, cut it into 2 pieces of the appropriate length, and then apply it after you've cut it. You do not need to trim the width of the tape in this step. Yes, so I have this tape piece here. I suppose to there. Got it down to here. Oh. Okay. Oh, so much concentration. I'm excited to actually listen to these. Right. Come on, focus. Let's go. Sticky. I'd probably recommend making sure your desk is really clean before doing this. Hmm. That's one. Good afternoon, Squirrel Brain and Maker Viking. Hmm. A flex PCB is still not something I've designed myself, actually. I might have to find an application and design something. Hmm. Right. Whew. Oh, sorry, I forgot to go close for those. Oh well, it was just some sticky tape. Let's show you the result. So we have now two pieces that look like this. And then on the back, you can see extra width. Press the tape firmly onto the driver flex board. We kind of did that already. You can apply pressure by using your thumb around object. I used the tape that came with, works quite well. Prepared to assemble the right driver. What about the wrong driver? Dun dun dun. Right, so let's make sure we match up the things that we need to the picture. So we need this, not this one. We need this thing. We need one of these, and that is that one. We need one of these, and that is that one. That will go with that lot. And then we need one of these, which says right. That is that one. We need one of these. These appear to be identical. We don't need these yet. Do we need this? We need one of these. I don't know which one of these we're going to need. They weren't identical, were they? The holes are in different places. Well, I guess we match up the holes to what shows on the image. It's this one. That one goes to one side. Do we need one of these? No. Do we need one of these? No, not yet. Right. So we've got these bits, this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, and this bit. The right driver inner ring, the blue ring will say right. Yep. It's a bit difficult to identify. You can grab both of them for the moment since it's impossible to install the incorrect driver outer ring. You need the following hardware: driver foam, right driver flex board, 12 small screws, 4 big screws, 1 magnet with a red mark on it, 5 magnets without red marks on them. So I think those must be in here. The screws are all just loose in the bottom. I would say that's not quite ideal, but it is what it is. some logo things, ick-up things, headband things, cover material fabric things, foam pad things. Let's get one of my little trays. I think that's everything out of that bag. Right. Sorry, my phone is going crazy, which is rare. Okay, it's okay. Right. Flatten the driver foam. I think that's as flat as it's going to get. So we need the big screws and the small screws. Oh, they're more like fat screws and thin screws. So let's see if I can. I don't think you're going to be able to see. So there's basically a bunch of like dowel pins, which we don't need. And then the rest of the screws are these Phillips head screws, which is the cross type. And they're all about the same length, but some of them are thin and some of them are fat. And they're all countersink type because they're kind of self-tapping wood screw sort of things. ASMR screw sorting. Right. Okie dokie. So that's what you get. You got fat screws, thin screws, and dowel pins. And then, don't need that for now. Oh, be careful. Magnets and such. So, how many magnets we got here? One magnet with a red mark on it. And 5 magnets without... Oh, that's my door. I'll be back in a second. Sorry about the slight interruption. I'm getting deliveries all the time at the moment because I've bought all the parts for the Darwin Evo build, and they're all coming in sort of little bits here and there. So I get like a tiny little package every day. Kind of inconvenient, but you know, it is what it is. So 1 magnet with a red mark and 5 magnets without red marks. So how am I going to do that without hurting myself? 1, 2, so that's the red, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay, they're quite strong magnets, but they're not outrageously strong magnets. Right. Do we have the right driver flex board? We do. We'll get the 4 big screws out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're separated. Flatten the driver foam. If your driver foams are bent, they need to be flattened before they're installed. You can do this by pressing the driver foams underneath a heavy book and leaving them for at least an hour. I think mine are flat. I don't think they're going to get any flatter than that. Insert the driver assembly jig into the driver back. So I'll probably leave you without instructions for now, and I'll just show you. It looks fine. Oh, and then this is going to go. Yes. Place the driver flex board into the driver assembly jig. It doesn't go down to where it should because of the sticky tape. This one. No. Okay, I think it'll just sort of sort itself out. This doesn't quite fit though. I think my cutting was maybe not close enough. There we go, that kind of fits within the little jig thing now. This is a good place to double check if you have the correct driver flex board. It should not need to be bent in order to fit. Take a good look at how the driver flex board sits on top of the driver assembly jig. You need to be pressing the Stand the driver board is not supported by the jig. The driver assembly jig should grip the driver flex board if you seat it well, as there are small little pegs that surround the board. Yeah, that's kind of what I did, right? It's sort of fixed in there. Doesn't move anywhere. Remove the backing tape from the driver flex board. Here we go. Time for scary things. It doesn't look like it's that well attached. Removing. Yes, all of it. You'll have to let me know which driver was easier to assemble. Cool. It was a while ago that I assembled yours. It feels like years, but it might not have been that long. Prepare to place the driver foam into the driver. Lay the driver foam into the driver without pressing into the tape. Make sure that the driver foam is laid in the exact center. Make sure that the screw holes are exposed in the driver back. Right. Exact center. That sounds easy. Not. I would say that is the exact center. Gently tap down. You check to see where the driver board is supported. That's going to be relevant. Gently tap the driver foam, but only where the driver board is supported. Relatively small area. Tap it about 10 times. Sure. Is that just to comfort it? Because it's getting stressed out by all this assembly. Use 6 of the small screws. Prepare the driver ring. Drop the screws into the driver inner ring. So I'm assuming they go into these countersunk holes based on which side I'm screwing into. Align the driver inner ring with the driver back. Rest the driver inner ring on top of the driver back. Don't push the driver ring down with any force at all, just rest it on the driver back. Okay. This is going to be sketchy. Yeah, the bit that's not going in is the actual TRS jack. Press the driver inner ring down and screw in all 6 screws. You'll have to complete this entire step without stopping, without screwing up rather quickly. Why? So before you get started, take a deep breath. Push the driver inner ring downwards with one hand. Apply firm pressure. The driver foam will compress as you do this. This is normal. The driver inner ring will bend as you do this. This is also normal. Once you've pressed down the driver inner ring, you cannot release pressure until all 6 screws have been fully inserted. After this step is completed, do not lift the driver up off your work surface. Okay, well, I'll do my best, but I can't make any promises. This doesn't really... Screwdriver. Don't know how to get to these other screws now that I've put my hand in the way. Can't get to that last one. Ugh. It said don't pick it up. It's a bit late now. Yeah, I'm not sure this is fully assembled. There's still a bit of a gap around this. I'm not sure why. Doesn't look ideal. Don't lift it up. Said don't lift it up. I've been naughty. Very, very naughty. Once you press down the driver inner ring, you cannot release pressure. Okay, next. Press down on the driver foam, but not on the stem. Like this. Press down on the driver foam, but only where the driver force. Press down on the quite a firm amount of force. It appears to be stuck. We've managed. Press the driver flex board into the phone driver foam. So now this side. So we want to cover the areas which we couldn't really necessarily reach perfectly from the other side. I'm not sure why this is not supported all the way across. I guess because of this hole here. Anyway, use a good amount of firm pressure to do that. Use a pair of tweezers to press the stem into the driver foam. Now this seems like it. Oh. That doesn't look right at all. Hopefully that's okay. You may notice there's a gap between the stem of the driver and the driver foam. Yes, the tape on the stem is very strong and will adhere to the driver foam. Use your finger to gently push the driver foam towards the stem of the driver flex board. Use the tweezers to press the stem of the driver board into the foam. Yeah, don't stab yourself. I'm using the blunt end of the tweezers. It seems to be working. Hello? You may notice there's a gap. Check the alignment of the driver flex board in the driver back. I reckon that looks pretty good. Looks pretty central. Prepare the driver outer ring. use 6 of the small screws. Drop the screws into the driver outer ring. That side. That's the TRS opening. That's the thing. That goes there. I think. That doesn't look quite right. Would that one be better? Oh, no, it looks like it's this one that fits better. Yes, I think I got the wrong one. Oh, I think that's sort of... When you press the thing, it will create some tension. Yep, that looks about right. Prepare the driver cap. So we've got the driver cap here. Do not remove the red mark. Handle all magnets carefully. Insert the red magnet into the driver cap, with the red pointing towards the south. Look at the driver cap. It says NS, da 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 da. The magnet's red mark determines the side that is south. The magnet should fit tightly into the cap. Insert the remaining magnets into the driver. The magnets must be inserted into the driver cap in a very specific orientation. If you do not follow the video exactly, the driver will be extremely quiet. Okay, well, I saw the video earlier, so what you have to do is basically put the magnet on top of here and then give it a little rotation until it snaps to be perfectly on top. You see how its natural orientation here is just to the side of this current magnet that's already been placed. So roll it over, and you see now that is the alignment that you want it. So you now take it without rotating it and push it into the next slot. And that, as they say, is that. Red points to the south. Again, rotate it so it's on top of the previous magnet. Take it off, slide it into the housing, job done. Next. Flip it over, sitting on top, take it off, into the housing. On top, flip it over. It's getting difficult to insert. And the last one. Right, that's a heavy old block, that is. Insert the driver cap into the driver back and screw it in. I'm not entirely sure how we get that orientation correct. Can't really see much of the logo on my piece. I think like that. That should work. Can't really see the logo. I think the first layer was maybe a bit too close on printing my parts. So that logo's not very visible, but it's just about visible enough for me to get this assembled. How long have we been going? An hour! Oh well. Righty-ho. That's a heavy boy now. So now we've got to do the other side, I guess. Repeat the preceding steps for the left driver. So hopefully I can do that a little bit quicker this time. So, jig, hold it on there. Magnet, doobly on there. Trim carefully. Remove tape. Put off the tape, put the foam over the top. Sewing on one side I think is quite a good way to do it. Because it's round, you can kind of get that positioned without too much trouble. Then we've got inner ring. Ah, this is the bit. Yeah, once you press down, don't let go. Oh, don't lift it up. Turns out I'm not great at following instructions. It does feel quite a complicated assembly process. I thought they were the other ring on first. No? Driver foam. I don't think it really matters how much you do press down on this bit. It's just to stop them coming out together. Because you just want to make sure that that doesn't stick to that. It needs to be stuck to the foam. And then we also stick in the ribbon cable. That's pretty good. Nicely aligned. Then we've got the other ring. Definitely a little bit quicker once you know how to do it. As long as I've not made a mistake, because that would be unfortunate. And it was like this. I don't really like the put all the screws in first method, because the screws just get jammed between the two pieces. First place part, then add screws. Now we do the magnetos. The red one, start with, to point to the south. There should be something to make sure you get these in the right place. I mean, I'm just putting them central, but if there was a stop on one side, you could just push it all the way into the stop, which I feel would make sense. Looks like we have one spare magnet. This goes this way. We find the triangle that points to the hole. that is the top, and then 4 large screws to fix it in place. So that second air cup, pretty sure that was definitely quite a bit faster than the first, purely on the basis that I didn't have to reread all the instructions 4 times before doing it. Would be nice if you could just pay for the parts and print the plastic parts yourself. Was there not an option for that on the website? Huh. Oh yeah, you have to choose a colour. Interesting. Maybe I'll feed back to them about that. It would be nice to be able to print your own parts for sure. I think it's obviously important that you get the settings and things right, and then use the right material and that sort of thing, because it will affect the overall sound. But there's no reason really, I don't think, why they can't say, make sure you use this material with this infill and this perimeters and this whatever. Right, so we've got those 2 drivers sorted. Onto the ear cups. Right, let's put these to one side. Prepare to assemble the ear cups. So we need this, and we need this. We need 2 little rings. 2 little rings and 2 big rings. We need the resonator things. We need some black tubey things. Yep, that's the head sock. And then we got the ear socks. Hopefully these are, they feel soft. They're basically like socks. T-shirt sleeves. Anyway, I think that's everything. Practice inserting the ear cup inner ring into the woven cover. The ear cup inner ring is the smaller of the 2 rings that you have. Inserting the ear cup inner ring into the woven part can be a bit tricky. During this step, you'll practice. During the real insertion step, the ear cup inner ring will be covered with glue, so it will stick to the woven cover. Get a feel for how the woven cover stretches and how the ear cup inner ring flexes. Okie dokie. So this might not be super easy. Putting a flexible thing into another flexible thing. Okay. I suppose it has to end up really close to the edge or something. I mean, that seems not that hard, right? One end in, stretch the rest, put it over. I mean, this is only difficult now because it's slippery, because it's not sticking. If I stuck that on there, yeah, I feel like this is going to be easier covered in glue, to be honest. Apply glue to the ear cup inner ring. A generous amount from your glue stick. Get full coverage. You only have to apply glue to the outside of the ear cup. Glue. This is going to get messy, I know it. How do you... Glue stick doesn't really... Then I simply put this into ear. Insert the inner ring into the woven fabric. Aim to insert the inner with about 3 millimeters into the cover. Okay. There should be about 3 millimeters of woven cover sticking past the ear cup inner ring after it is fully inserted. It should stick well. Well, let's hope it does, eh? I feel like I've done an okay job. Three millimeters is quite a precise measurement for fabric, I think, but apart from getting loads of fabric stuck to my fingers, I think I've managed that okay. I think that looks about right. Right, that looks pretty good. Hello, Jose. Good to see you. Align the inner ear cup ring with the ear assembly, so that's presumably one of these. And that, I think, goes in there. Ensure that the ear cup base is flipped to the correct side. Use the photo. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Small groove in the base accepts the ear cup inner ring. You'll have to gently flex the ear cup inner ring to get it in. Okie dokie. Oh, I see. Flip the woven cover through the ear cup base. Like that. Place the ear cup foam in place. Ear cup foam. I don't know what I should be showing, really, whether the assembly or the instructions. Put the ear cup assembly flat on your work surface. The step will be easiest way of stretching. Stretch the woven cover over the ear cup into the other side of the ear cup base. Try not to stretch it too much. Stretch the woven cover evenly. If you don't, the cover will stretch the ear cup foam in an uneven way. So we've got to... Hello. I'm doing quite good at the moment, thank you. I was going to say too good for a minute. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Things are going too well. It's rather ominous. I'm sure we're not going to have quite enough fabric here. We're going to have to stretch it a bit more, but no matter how accurately you think you perform this step, you'll have to adjust. Place the ear cup outer ring onto the ear cup base. Press the ear cup outer ring into the groove on the ear cup base. Watch this video. There's a small circular groove in the cup base accepts the thing. You have to gently flex it. Clamp to the ear cup at every point around the circumference. You can always redo this step later, but if you do this correctly now, the woven cover will probably never come loose from the ear cup base. So we've got to get this in here There's no audio. There's a small circular groove. You'll have to gently flex, make sure the weapon cover is clamped. See, mine is definitely wider on one end at the top than the bottom, I think. It doesn't say which way up it goes, so... How do I get this to go in? Yeah, boy! Ta-da! I managed it. What a champ. And then we have to orientate the resonator correctly. Only fits one way. What does it mean by one way? As in, it has to go this way up, or it has to only go in... So we just press it in, I think. Ta-da! So that should fit. Yeah, I mean, it's a very open ear cup, so... Have you ever shipped a printer internationally? I think so. Well, I'm in the process of doing it anyway. Go back to step 39 and complete all the steps again for the other ear cup. Step 39 is actually step 1. Okay, so now we do this again. Little ring, lots of glue. Shipping the whole printer is pretty expensive. But I don't remember exactly, I'm afraid. It does depend whether you're shipping a kit, like pre-assembled, in parts, or, you know, all these things make a difference. That's step one. The gluey bit. And then we go to this bit. That goes on here, that goes in there. Press this doobly into that doobly. Right. Goes through there. That goes on here. Maybe if we go like this, put our hand kind of through and then sort of draw it out. No, that was not a good strategy. That was an awful strategy. I think the way that they suggest is still the best. And then just go around and adjust. I think part of the difficulty is that it gets quite stuck to the foam. So just go around and release it from the foam, pull an extra bit through. Right, hopefully that's okay. Let me get this ring. It's quite hard to get in actually. I think we're pretty much there. Give it a little loosen up. And then from this side, isn't it? This side, this side, this way, this presses into here. Ta-da! DOS ear cup. I've got this glue all over my fingers. How long has this taken? An hour and a half. Does it feel like I'm going really slow? I never really know. So we've done that. Prepare to insert the ear cup into the driver. So this is just a push and rotate. And there's a little clippy bit, a little notch that helps lock the rotation into place. I think that's right. And the other one. I must say, black and purple was an amazing colour choice. Well, purple was the colour choice, and then the pink foam works well on the inside as well. So showing it to the blooming computer screen. What an idiot. Repeat the preceding steps for the other ear cup and driver. Cool. Headband time. So now we need these two pieces. We need these two pieces. We need this thing. We need these things. A bunch of pins, some screws. And that's it. So we need to assemble the pins into here. This is where my new tool might help my fingers from not being crushed. No, it only does a very small range of motion. Yeah, a bit of stringing in these holes. I'm just going to try and plug that out. Now it's those two bits. Attach the headband sliders to the driver holders. Orient the driver holder so the smooth side is facing outwards. That goes on there. That goes on there. And is it a thin screw? Two small screws. And then a felt strip. I've stopped. Okay, so I think everything I've done half, so now I can repeat it on the other side. So that goes on here, goes on there. That little what's it goes on here. Screw them together. That's good. Get the other piece of felt off of here and place it into the slot. So now we have to get the right ear cup with the right thing. So That one slides up that way, and that one goes in that way. So I think the way we do this is go one pin on one side, press that in, and then pull it out and push it in on the other side. Excellent. Other one. Lovely jubbly. Now we move on to the headband. So we've got two headband caps, presumably the empty bits, two headband plugs, presumably the solid bits, 4 headband plug tensioner, 4 headband flex bars. You need the following hardware: the foam, the woven cover, 4 big screws. Right in the head plug and headband tensioners correctly. Okay, so these are the parts we're doing. I've got to get these in these. So that's that. So we've got a bit of plastic, unfortunately, stuck in the L. Okay, so clips. We have to try and fit these clips into these holes, into this thing. It's quite easy. They fit really nicely. Excellent. Do they? Nice. They're like little retracting clips. Very cool. Select a headband clamping strength. Kits ship in 2 different strengths of headbands. In the photo, the tweezers are pointing towards a mark in the middle of the flex bar. Notice that the marks on the 2 headbands are different. So mine 2 have square holes and 2 have circle holes. So mine are different to what's there, but that's fine. The headband with a hollow square has a higher clamping force. If you have an older kit, okay, so maybe square hole? I don't know. We'll go high force. I'm sure we can change it later, maybe, if we need to. Insert it into the headband clamp. Don't shove the headband flakes through roughly. The easiest way to insert them is to wiggle them up and down in the direction shown as you apply even force. They seem to just slot straight in. Whoop. Place the headband foam into the headband assembly. Okay, so you only get the screws at the end, so you have to do all of this without it falling apart. This seems like it's not going to be possible. Might have to have some tape to hold it all in place. As soon as I place this in, the whole thing's going to fall apart. It just immediately comes to part. Comes to part? There's nothing holding this in. It just comes straight out. Masking tape right here. Don't know if this will really help, but it's worth a try. Somehow we've got to get this in here. Oh, I've put it in the wrong pieces. Oh, maybe that's why it's difficult. It's got to go into these pieces. Right, let's try this again. Hey, that's better. Now they kind of snap into place. Don't need the tape. And we put this in here. Place the headband, the foam into the headband, adjust the placement of the foam. Okay, now we got the sock. Prepare the sock. Place the sock. Pull the sock. Adjust the sock. Equal amount overhanging on each side. Adjust the headband woven cover so that enough material is overhanging the cap at a minimum about 5 millimeters. Insert the plug. Ensure the headband plug is fully inserted. During the insertion process, it is possible that you have pushed the headband flex part out of its hole. If this happened, reinsert it. Remove the headband plug and adjust the headband. Screw the headband into place. Use 4 big screws. Okie dokie. So basically what I've got to jam these mofos in here with some of the fabric to stop the fabric coming back out again. There we go. I think that works pretty well. We must be getting close. In the photo, the tweezers are pointing at a bulge, which is the end of the headband foam. This bulge should be present when you're wearing the headphones. The bulge will prevent the plastic of the headband cap from contacting your head. Maybe adjust this foam a little bit. There we go. Got a bit of bulge now. Insert the headband slider into the headband assembly. We're gonna have some headphones. That's quite nice. Yeah, buddy. Which is left and which is right? There's no visible L and R after you've assembled them. Oh yes, there is, left and right. Dem's some big old headphones. Yeah! Right. So we have the amplifier, which looks like this. We'll do the firmware another time, because mine came like this. Cut out the Ploopy logos. My Ploopy logos come pre-cut, which is nice. Oh, they make them out of wood. The old ones were cork. Okay. Peel and stick the Ploopy logos. So we have to peel and stick our own peel and stick. I probably want to just halve these like this. My logo is a little bit warped, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Hopefully not. And then we stick these logos into these various places. I don't know which way around the logos are meant to go. That photo shows them. So that one here goes this way. And then this one, same way. Is that right? Yep. And then this one, yep, like so. That's our logos. And we've got some cables. So I'm not sure this one. I think it's just a USB-C cable. Yep. USB-A to USB-C. And then we have this old, this thing's absolutely chopping huge. Oh, okay. You need the following. Assemble the cable. It doesn't matter which TRS cable goes into which jack. Braid the two TRS cables into a braid. You can't really braid. You can twist two. Braid is 3. Cable is really, really thick. But then again, these are not really headphones for out and about. These are sitting at home headphones. There's a lot of pieces in that case. You must have a lot of patience. I don't know. Maybe I do. Use the wire wrapper to hold the two wires in place. The closure of the wire wrapper can be adjusted later. The cables appear to be different length. That's not ideal. Okay. So going to the headphone, probably go a little bit more. And then we've got to twist this around it. Hopefully, this is not designed for a cable of this size. It doesn't really fit properly, but it does kind of work, I suppose. I wouldn't call it an engineered solution, but it does work. Admire my handiwork. Well done me. All done. So now I suppose I stick that doobly in that doobly. Stick these dooblies into these dooblies. Plug this into my pooter. And have a listen. Unfortunately, obviously, you're not going to be able to hear this. And unless I go hunting for some royalty-free music. I suppose I have that audio, don't I? Which I use on videos. I could use that. So, oh. Hopefully this doesn't require anything special. Maybe it doesn't come with any firmware installed. Oh no, Ploopy Headphones. It's allocated. It's a device. Okay. Plug that in there. I'll leave the microphone on for the minute. They look pretty cool. I mean, cool's maybe not the word for it, but this. For massive headphones, they look pretty nice. They're reasonably comfortable. Obviously, I'm wearing a microphone attached to my ear, which is not the best. The clamping force is quite low. You probably couldn't move your head much. If you move your head much, they're going to come off. But right. So you won't be able to hear my desktop audio anyway, hopefully. So hopefully I can just play a thing. Well, my right ear is really enjoying it. But I have no left ear. No. They just sound really good. Unfortunately, my I think the left audio is a little bit. I don't know if it's the connector or what. Yeah, this connector is a bit. There's something not quite right. Was that the one that was? Let's try switching it around. Well, I'd say pretty successful. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously this is going to be repairable, which is good. Bit of a shame that I didn't manage to nail it perfectly the first time, but I'm pretty happy with. I mean, they fit quite nicely. When I managed to align it like just right, the sound was epic. Quite quiet. They obviously have quite high impedance, so you're going to need some serious juice to be able to power them. Maybe it's this part that was not quite in. No. Huh. Anyway, I'm really happy with how they've turned out. I'm not sure quite what's going on with my viewing figures. YouTube Studio looks to be a little bit broken. But it was quite a lot of fun to build, that's for sure. As we mentioned earlier in the stream, I think it would be nice to have the option to buy just the hardware kit and be able to print the parts yourself. But again, I guess the reason is I think these were kind of originally targeted at a kind of audiophile audience who wouldn't necessarily have the 3D printers. So, but I mean, comfort-wise, nice. I'm sure I'll manage to get it going. It might just be my soldering's a little bit dodgy. I'm sure I'll manage to get it fixed. So that's going to be it for now. Thanks for joining me as I build these headphones. It's been a lot of fun. The link's down below. It's not an affiliate link or anything, but if you are interested in getting them, that's where you can find them. So this is the full kit, DIY kit, so you get the amplifier as well. This keeps coming out here. I wonder if it's just, I don't know. I'm sure we can get it sorted. Just little things. The main bulk of it's turned out really nicely. The assembly process is a little bit fiddly. Definitely bits here and there. And the instructions are quite, as I said at the start, they're quite verbose, so there's a lot of reading and understanding, and things are sort of said twice or three times, which it's good because you want to make sure that that information gets across, but sometimes, or often I think with instructions, often the less that's said, the better, because people will avoid reading things. And often they'll just avoid the instructions altogether. So, yeah, I mean, the video guide that I saw was very helpful. Just having watched that before I do this made reading the instructions a lot easier. I knew which parts are like the critical bits and which bits you can just kind of breeze through. So, yes, that's it from me today. Thank you very much, everyone, for sticking around. Don't forget to leave a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more and stuff like that. Leave a comment. Shits and giggles. The Darwin Evo build is still on the way. The parts are all printed. I think about 40%, no, probably not that much, maybe 20 to 30% of the parts have arrived for the assembly. I don't think I have to do any more live streams prior to it. I think this is my last one, so that hopefully we can start the next live stream. Hopefully next week, as long as enough of the parts have arrived. I suppose for bill of materials, we don't necessarily need that. But anyway, thank you very much to Ploopy for sponsoring this video, this live stream, and for providing the kit for me to assemble. And I'll get testing them now. And I'll probably, instead of making a whole review video, because I've not really enjoyed review videos anymore, I'll write a little blog post on my website about my kind of feedback. Hopefully, I'll probably summarize the assembly process and then I'll do a little bit after usage, because I can update a written article, whereas a video, the review, once it's done, you can't change it, which I really hate. So yes, check my website out for that. I'll try and leave a link in the video or one of the comments if I remember to do that. If not, just search for Ploopy on vector3d.co.uk. Thanks very much, everyone, and I'll see you next week.